Dawn and Steve returned home to California with a missing 4 hours and tried to get back to their normal life. What they had experienced already changed their life dramatically. Gradually, Steve shared it with trusted people in his life. Their family did not all believe what had happened to them but wasn't sure what had happened. Who could blame them? It was a dramatic story. The Hesses hoped it was behind them and over time they would recover. Later they discovered the aliens followed them home. One night Dawn woke up and found her small son Steve in front of the front door. She was mortified when he pleaded with her, "Don't let the men with the red eyes get me." They knew they needed help. When Steve confided in his friend Paul Moran, Paul turned to author Ron Felber. Ron had connections with a psychiatrist named Dr. William Annixter who helped people who suffered from PTSD through regressive hypnotherapy. So, the Hesses went to North Carolina where Dr. Annixter hypnotized both individually and recorded. They were kept apart the whole day. What Dr. Annixter observed about the Hesses is that they were both well-educated and a quiet couple. Their goals were that Steve had a good career and Dawn was a homemaker. They were building a family and a life. The doctor believed the people who were in front of him were ordinary and decent people. Not UFO buffs trying to reach an audience or with some other motive. Over the years, my own experience and seeing who the whistleblowers are made me have more faith in the reporting. Dawn's session started with her remembering the whole camper was taken up into the ship in a beam of light. The next thing she remembered was lying on a table, and her husband lying on a different table. She saw outlines of alien beings with large black eyes, like a traditional rendering, surrounding her. Which is interesting because there were different sizes of aliens outside the camper when they were being attacked. She also recalled as she was lying on the table they put something in her stomach or were getting data from investigating it. She remembered them putting an instrument in her neck also, and during hypnosis it was as if she was reliving the experience, screaming in terror and pain. Steve fought his captors on the table as they experimented on him. Generally, he had the same experience. When Dr. Annixter was finished interviewing the couple he came out with, he believed they believed what had happened to them. They had no reason for deception, and they had a paranormal experience. He asked them if there was anything else that happened they did not divulge. Dawn stated she was pregnant, but wasn't sure if the aliens had something to do with it. There is much more information in the book. Months later their daughter was born totally normal. In fact, it was a loving and peaceful experience for Dawn. Over the years their home in California has had numerous paranormal experiences, lights turning on and off, that kind of thing. They have become more infrequent as their family grew up and moved on. Steve said it took them 25 years to come to terms with it, and their own religious beliefs did not explain it. He is convinced we are surrounded by life on other worlds. This story went on for decades in duration and depth. It was the scariest true story I have ever read about alien abductions. The book is The Mojave Incident by Ron Felber.